Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Mark Heffron becomes the British Commonwealth super-middleweight champ. The IBF Inter-continental belt was on the line as well, for what that's worth. But he defeats, rather surprisingly, defeats LENNOX CLARKE in it's a 5-round TKO. And a terrific performance by Mark Heffron. He had two previous British title fights at middleweight. Got stopped in 10 by Liam Richards, and also lost to, let me think now, I'm going to forget, and give me a minute to remember this, because it's going to annoy me otherwise. Bentley. Yeah, Denzel Bentley, that's right. It was four-round retirement, I think it was. Not a TKO, it was a retirement over Denzel, against Denzel Bentley. And he looked like shop-worn goods, to be honest with you. And Bentley's a good fighter. But Richard said, no, it was the weight. And so he moves up to super middle, and you're thinking, okay, maybe it was the weight, maybe not, we'll see. But yeah, it looks to me like it was the weight that gave him grief at middleweight, because LENNOX CLARKE was fancied to win this fight and didn't really get a look in. In the first round, Heffron came out and he really put it on LENNOX, and he had LENNOX shaken badly. And it looked like there might be a 1-round stoppage on the cards, which would have been a real shocker. But LENNOX somehow weathered the storm. There was a big chopping hook in there that really shook LENNOX, but he hung in there. Tough guy, LENNOX. Don't forget, against Willie Hutchinson, when he picked up these two belts, the Commonwealth and the British super middleweight belts. I think, if I remember rightly, Willie Hutchinson had some success quite early on. And then LENNOX came back and beat Hutchinson 5th round TKO. So he's perhaps been there before, used to weathering the early storm, but it was an early storm, make no mistake about it. Heffron, you can give him a 10-8 round for that. I mean, LENNOX didn't go on the floor, but Heffron just battered him from pillar to post, and was doing some good work to the body, some very good work to the body as well. So in the second round, LENNOX showed what he's made of, came back and won the round. And was very impressive doing it. I mean, he really gritted his teeth, bit down his gum shield, and went to Heffron, got in close, and was having some success in close. When there was a bit of space between them, Heffron was allowed to move his arms, and that was bad news for LENNOX. And again, I repeat, the bodywork was very good. He was throwing in some meaty body punches, which LENNOX, to his credit, took very, very well. Third round, I thought Mark Heffron won that round, so it's 2-1 rounds, the 2-1 in rounds to Heffron. But again, they're up close. LENNOX was threatening to sort of come back into it, and they were both looking quite fatigued. LENNOX looked more, I suppose he looked more stunned than fatigued, but you did get the impression it's a 12-round fight. It's Heffron using up too much energy early. Fourth round, again, more of the same. Heffron, I thought Heffron won that round too. But LENNOX was in it, and you just got the feeling, is he going to weather that storm, the first half of the fight, maybe certainly the first third of the fight, and then come on strong later on? Is he going to drag Williams into deep waters? Because don't forget, this is up at super middleweight, and one of Heffron's previous defeats was a 10-round stoppage to Liam Williams. So drag him into the deep waters, maybe he'll sink, maybe he'll drown, I don't know. Well, that became a sort of moot point, because in the 5th round, Mark Heffron landed let me get this right, it was a hook to the temple. I want to say it was a left hook to the temple. Have I got that right? Or was it a right? I don't know. One or the other, isn't it? But it was definitely landed on the temple, and LENNOX CLARKE was stuttering all over the place. His legs were rubber. He sort of fell back into the ropes, stayed on his feet, and then Heffron jumped all over him and landed 2 or 3 other heavy punches. Definitely had LENNOX in trouble, and the ref stepped in, much to LENNOX's chagrin. He was not happy with this. He I think at one point he shoved a celebrating Heffron. He's really, really peeved about it. Was it a premature stoppage? I've seen far worse stoppages than that, far worse. But LENNOX, being a warrior, he wants to carry on. He wasn't happy with it. Heffron finally got that British title albeit at a higher weight. And he's got the Commonwealth, and he's got an IBF ranking because of that Inter-continental thing. So yeah, all credit to Mark Heffron. He's I think he's 30 now. They're both the same age, 30, 31. So this was really sort of last chance saloon for Mark Heffron, really, certainly as far as the British is concerned. European next. Lerone Richards, I think, is the EBU champ. So, is he still the EBU champ, or has he given it up? I think he's still got it, hasn't he? Yeah, I'll have to check on that. But that'll be a good fight. That'll be a very good fight. Lerone Richards holds a split decision win over LENNOX CLARKE, and Heffron's going to say, "Well, I stopped him in 5. You were taken to a split decision. Let's do it. Let's do it for the EBU title and the British and the Commonwealth." On the other hand, Lerone Richards might say, "I've been there, done that. I don't need to jump back down." You know, he might vacate the EBU and try to go for a world title. I don't know, but I think that'll be a good matchup. Be a good matchup. Richards against Heffron. As for Clarke, he can come again. I mean, this guy's got guts. Guy's got a lot of skill. A lot of. I suppose his skills are quite basic, although they're not bad. But I do think that he can come again if he wants to. You know, he can hang on in there and go back to the drawing board. But it was a good fight. It was a very, very good fight while it lasted. And this BT bill, this Warren BT bill, isn't bad at all. Actually, we've got a couple more to come at the time of recording this. But yeah, good. Not a bad little nice box in this. Anyway, did you see this fight? If so, leave your comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. That'd be a big deal, big help for us. And like the video as well. That always helps. And I'll speak to you again soon. Meanwhile, of course, as always, take care of yourselves. Bye for now.